This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, June 30th, 2025. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 2200. Bottom line up front. Firefighters targeted in Idaho ambush. Multiple fatalities reported. Targeting continues in the Middle East. Beginning with international events. In the Middle East, the situation remains tenuous throughout the region as another drone attack strikes Tehran. This afternoon, locals reported witnessing a kamikaze drone attack taking place in Tehran, which is being claimed to have targeted a senior IRGC official. Analysts comment. As this is a developing situation, very few details are confirmed. However, yesterday, anti-aircraft batteries throughout the city were observed engaging targets, which would add more validity to the claims of small drones being used to target senior defense officials. Reports from last night also suggest that Iranian leadership is continuing to crack down on spies and insurgents carrying out attacks within Tehran, which is continuing to be a problem despite the ceasefire. On the home front, in Idaho, yesterday afternoon a small arms engagement was reported on Canfield Mountain just east of Coeur d'Alene. At approximately 13:30 local time, firefighters responded to a call of a brush fire on Canfield Mountain in the vicinity of Nettleton Gulch Road. Upon arrival on scene, firefighters unknowingly maneuvered into the kill zone of a deliberately laid ambush, with the fire being started to lure authorities into the location. In the initial ambush, 2 firefighters were killed and several others were wounded. After some time, local authorities stated that the body of a male individual, presumed to be the shooter, was recovered from the scene along with a firearm. This morning, the shooter was identified as Wes Rowley. Analyst comments for this wire. Regarding the verbiage used to describe the situation in Idaho, additional context would be helpful to discern the threat. The term ambush is technically correct in describing the shooting. However, this term is also likely to imply that a classic L-shaped ambush was laid by a professional military force. In this case, this is not what happened at all. The shooter briefly spoke to firefighters who were arriving on scene before climbing a tree and engaging them with a shotgun from close range. Considering that many people around the nation are currently concerned with various threats of terrorism, it is important to understand that while horrific, this incident does not bear the hallmarks of a more professional and sophisticated terror attack. Incidents like this often highlight additional concerns that would be wise to consider. For instance, even before the shooter's identity was even known, many journalists were pushing a narrative for political purposes, even as the incident was ongoing. Even now, a full day after the attack, and knowing the shooter's identity, many news organizations have not issued corrections to their articles that attempted to paint the situation as some sort of crazed militia activity related to white supremacy groups or the general idea of such. This horrific attack was the result of one individual whose success relied not upon military planning tactics, but on the fire department, understandably, not expecting to roll up to a fire and find someone shooting at them from a tree. However, regardless of the rhetoric that is already being spread, it is extremely crucial to remember that in the heat of the moment, the underlying politics and ideology are less important than the situation at hand. Political discussions are best served after the situation is resolved, not while bullets are still whizzing by overhead. It is also easy to forget that, regardless of the suspicious nature of attacks like this, at the end of the day, real people are dead. This will be important to remember as multiple sides will seek to spin this event to suit their narratives. This concludes The Wire for 2300 Zulu, June 30th, 2025.